All right, we're back, and I did my final clean on the head here. And the other thing I've got is from our seal kit, I've got these valve guide seals. I'm going to go ahead and place these in. I've got them soaking in some oil in this old cap that I have, just a nice little container. And what we're going to do, again, I laid these out like so that, I cleaned up these valves, but I didn't get too crazy with them. Just wanted to make sure that we were, preserving the coating on these, because that is important. And so, these are really clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with this side, because that's going to be this one here. And we're just going to go through a series on just this one. The other ones are going to be the same ways. I don't have my magic mini screwdriver here. I just got this oil seal, or this valve guide seal here. And, I've got it soaked in oil. And I got to be real careful about this, because I don't want to squish it. I'm just going to place it into place here. Oh, or at least try to. I'm going to try to show this as well. So all I did, and you can mess up at this, so this is real important to get it right. All I did here, boom, is I got that seated, and once it's down, it doesn't go any further. So the next thing that I do, because again we're getting this, we're reassembling this head, putting a little bit of oil on this valve. I want to put a little bit of oil on it, and probably would have been more prudent to set this piece down first. They will go on there. Yeah, it'll go on there, no problem. I'm just going to use this spring real quick to put it down there and make sure it's tamped down. Yeah, it's usually a best practice to place that in place, but doggone it, I got excited. Because I'm sharing this project with you guys. Again, I got a little bit of oil on the valve. No big deal. It'll clean off. And so, if you can see, I'll look and see if you can see here. I'm just going to take the valve. There's a valve guide from the underside here. Pour light. I'm just placing it into place. Putting it up in there. And the other thing that I'm doing here is I'm putting my finger on the top of the valve guide seal. That's what I'm doing. Just putting it down in there so that it doesn't shove it up off of the valve guide. And quite simply, we put our springs, the inner and outer, on there, and then we have our valve cap. It goes in there just a certain way. And quite simply, we get our tool again. I think you guys remember me showing you the tool. And again, I'm being extra careful here. I've got my tweezers off to the side. I might try to use those if we need to. But what I'm going to do, I'm just use my valve tool here, my valve spring compressor. Lower it into place here. And again, we're just going to do the one, because this series and these videos, it's gone long enough. But you got to understand, these pieces that I'm using here are steel. And I don't want that steel, even though it's cast, I don't want it coming into contact with the head surface, because a scratch could be a place on that surface for the head gasket to leak, and we don't want that. Okay, I had my other metal piece here handy, and then it became unhandy real fast. Doggone it. Oh, here it is. It's hiding in plain sight. So this piece here goes into, well, yeah, it goes into, well, yeah, there it is. And it's used as a crank to move this valve into place. I'm going to look and see if this shows up. And I apologize for my lighting here. So the stem of the valve is getting into place here. We should be able to place our little clasps, our little clips. And remember, I put them in our buckets here, along with the shims. And I got a neat trick when we get all these together. I'll get our other parts. Into place. Notice how it's tapered. The tapered side goes down. The skinnier side goes down. And this is where it gets to be a dexterity struggle. I'll set this other piece down right here. And that's why I got these. And again, I apologize for my lighting. There's no excuse for that. Are these slightly magnetic? So it's sort of in place. Oh yeah, it just went down. You can see it's facing the opposite direction, so it's basically facing us. And you can see, let me see if this shows up. There's this little ridge at the top. Okay. I wonder, could I use my little tweezers to just again, my lighting is bothering me even. Oh. And so it's just something where you got to get the dexterity on it here. Let's see. Let's see if I can grab my phone and be a little extra light so you can see. A little better. Does that make it better or does it make it worse? So this is sticking up just a little bit. It's sticking up just a little bit right here. So what I've got to do is, I think if I just wiggle this around, nope, it's got to be compressed just a little more. And if you remember from earlier in the video, I said, you know, I kind of hit my stride usually, okay, usually around the second or third one. Let me see if we can just raise this up and see if it grabs. And very clearly it's getting pushed. Oh, there we go. It's getting a little better. Sometimes you just got to manipulate it around. And I know this isn't showing very well, especially because, you know the thing. Yeah, I almost need my spotlight from... I remember doing this, the spotlight from the room where we have the bottom end setting. We just got to manipulate this thing around. Yeah, and then knock it completely out of its spot. That's what I like to do. If it were easy, everybody would do it, right? If it was easy to get film on it, everybody would watch, right? Nobody would watch. Nobody's watching this stuff. Let's see. I'm going to try to release this because I think I have this out of position. And then I might have to recompress it because I may have it too far. Oh, it just went down. Okay. And here's a chance to show you something, because this isn't in there right yet. You gotta understand, I did the S model not so long ago, the one that's a 470. And here's something for you to see. See how there's a little bit of a gap to that? I'm going to take my tool here and I'm just going to kind of hand compress that a few times, holding the bottom of the valve. It's still not perfect. Pardon my congestion. And we're much better. And sometimes it just needs that little bit of encouragement to go into the right place. And I can go through here with my tweezers, and there's a little bit of a gap in between them, which is normal, but they're at the same height. And they're holding the compression, or holding the spring tension on the valve. Pretty happy with that. You know what? I think we can do better with our second attempt. Let's see if we learned. Here's our spring retainer. I'm going to put that on first. I'm already doing more than I said I would do. This is just going to be its own video now. I was going to add it on to our I was going to add it on to our valve check for a contact, but it's going to be its own video now. See, look, the valve guide seal's in place. It's happy. Got this valve. I'll do a final clean on all this too. Going over to my little oil douche, putting some oil on the valve. Last little inspection here. Putting it so far in. I'm putting my finger on the valve guide seal. Goes through there. Bingo. And we've got our inner and outer spring. Okay. Replace my tool. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Oh. Old man sounds. moving this window. It's an area that I'm thinking maybe will be a little bit more accessible. Grabbing our retainers. And look at this on this 3D printed piece. That's probably the spot for the retainers if I wanted to put them there. I'll go ahead and put this one there. And what I'm doing is just walking this valve spring retainer around a little bit. And this one did much better. What did I tell you? It's always that first one. And I'm going to repeat this step for the two exhaust valves. And when I work on my favorite ones, let's see. Let's take a look at this. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and, before we finish this, I want to finish it right. I like to put a couple times. You got to make that sound. Oh yeah. Right there where I want it. Okay. Part of the way there. Part of the way there. And we'll finish with the exhaust valves. And then we'll move to the next step. And I'm pretty excited about it. So I want to say thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.